Welcome to your weekly dose of Formula Vee. We're at Okayama International on the short layout, and I've qualified 4th where passing will be tough. This race is a little different. Grant Boyden, a good friend and fellow Aussie iRacing YouTuber, is on commentary. Be sure to check out his channel, and now let's get to the grid for what should be a fantastic top split race.
Everyone's gridded.
Lights come on. We are set for the start. The red light's on, the revs build, and the Formula Vee's about to be let loose. Brilliant start from Jason. Archer McMillan goes to the outside as they go down towards turn 1. This is going to be the battle for third. The driver behind is going to have to back out of it. He turns in beautifully. Third spot, straight off the start-finish line. Cold tyres, cold brakes. What can he do through this section of the track? The car squirms, wants to get a bit loose. Holds onto it nicely. He just needs to settle down and make sure he can hold down what is effectively going to be third. Kaposa just bogged it down at the start and fell back, but he's not out of harm's way yet. He's right behind Archer McMillan in the slipstream, and that may come into play as they come down the straight. The other Aussie, Matt Peck, leads the way down through the final group of turns onto the start-finish straight, but he's going to be vulnerable to the American. Kurt Riemer right behind him as they go onto the start-finish straight, but gets a wheel out into the dirt. That's going to be costly. Nothing Archer McMillan can do about this at the moment, but he's managed to pull out a 0.4 of a second gap over Luke Kaposa.
3, 6. You're now in third.
Third position now for the Aussie legend. Comes down through the first turn using every piece of the track. The tyres starting to warm up. They're starting to come into their own now, and you can see the confidence building. Just misses that right-hander apex, but still gets a great run onto this small back straight. With this battle up front, anything can and probably will happen. This is Formula Vee racing after all. Kaposa is able to close the gap a little bit. It's down to 0.3 of a second. So there's sections where Archer McMillan is quicker, and Luke Kaposa is able to find just that little bit more. Into the final turn they come onto the straight. Archer McMillan's got the slipstream. That's going to help out. But so too has Luke Kaposa. Can't make it count though. 0.1 of a second. Will he have a go under brakes? No. He decides that discretion is the better part of valor. And Archer McMillan bridging this gap so slowly to Kurt Riemer. Just gets a little bit loose, but there's a capital gain. He's right up behind now, putting pressure on the American. Unfortunately, though, that also puts pressure on Matt Peck from Australia as well. Nice and smooth. You can see he's just biding his time. His mirror's absolutely full of Luke Kaposa, who's all over the back of him, but can't find a way through. Situation status quo as it was halfway through the first lap. He gets a great run out of the final turn. Right in the heart of the slipstream now. 0.3 of a second behind Kurt Riemer. Down into turn 1. The Aussie runs a little bit wide, loses the lead. Matt Peck goes to defend over the other Aussie. They almost touch, so almost side by side through this section of the track. Nat has allowed Luke Kaposa right back into this battle. And behind him, Perkos as well, sits back there in 5th spot and is not done with. He wants a piece of the action. And Jeff Wakefield, the other Australian, starting to get onto the end of this battle. It's a 6-way go for the race lead. Jason at the moment just sitting back, biding his time, making sure he makes no mistakes. You can see the battle up front is so intense that all he needs to do is sit here and be calculative. Stay in the hunt. There's a long way to go. 4 down of 12 in the lap department. He's up on his delta. Nearly a 10th second quicker as he entered turn 1. Gets on the brakes early, allows himself plenty of turn in. The American under attack at the moment as Peck goes up the inside, takes back the race lead. A great dice up in front. And even though Kurt Riemer is a 3K driver, Jason Archer McMillan is hanging on. Through the right-hander they come. Just leaving his acceleration just a little bit later to try and get a good drive out of this corner. Very tricky turn, that one, in all cars. You just have to time your throttle perfectly. Onto the start-finish straight they come. Kurt Riemer in the slipstream. The Aussie, almost a sitting duck. What's he going to do? No, he's going to sit back and bide some time here, the American. Looks to the outside. Does he try the switchback? No, he telegraphed that he was going to try and put Peck off his game. What can Archer McMillan do? Nothing at the moment. He knows that time is on his side. And look in the revision mirror. Perkos has got in front of Luke Caposa, who's obviously had a major issue, and so too Jeff Wakefield. They've both moved up, and that has taken the pressure off. As soon as you say it, commentator's curse. He gets his first off track of the race, but it has taken the pressure off. The gap back to second now, 1.6. But unfortunately, as a result of that off track, he's starting to lose touch with the guys in front. Fastest time set by Perkos so far, 102.642. That goes down to a 101.955 from Matt Peck. So the guys up front are certainly on it. Kurt puts a wheel out into the dirt. You know he's trying. Beautiful run through this section of the track now for Archer McMillan. Clean driving. That's what's required in Formula V, but he does need to bridge this gap just a touch. He's in the slipstream, but another tenth or so would play well into his chances of battling for a race victory here. Is it achievable? The gap constant back to Jeff Wakefield now, who's got in front of Perkos. 1.5 back to fourth spot. So Archer McMillan can just concentrate on the battle up front, and more importantly, if these two do have a coming together, not get involved in it. A bit of breathing space is not a bad thing, but I still think he'd like to find that extra 2/10 to get back into the slipstream. You can see he's trying as they come down through the double right-hander. Nicely through there. He gains time, 0.3 of a second. But not enough to gain that slipstream. He really needs them to get involved in a battle. But at the moment, the pace of the 2.8 Matt Peck and Kurt Riemer, the 3K driver, is just a little bit beyond the 2.1 of Jason Archer McMillan. It won't take much though. In these cars, the slightest mistake, and all of a sudden, it's game on again. Jeff Wakefield starting to find a little bit of pace as well. Let's check the times this time around. Matt Peck, 101.84. Quickest man on track. Jeff Wakefield, 102.5. Archer McMillan, 102.7. So about 2/10 faster is Wakefield, who's been re-overtaken by Perkos, who's moved forward into fourth spot. The gap now 1.2 back to fourth. I think in all sincerity, Jason would be more than happy to take this final podium spot. Points-wise, he's up 52 on his iRating, and he's only got the 1x against him. That's a great result for a Formula V race. That's the thing about Formula V's. You're not always battling for the race victory. You're battling against iRacing.
2.639.
That's the smart way of playing it. And we're on board with one of the smartest in the game. Pushes when he needs to push and sits back when it's smarter to do so. Perkos still not able to bridge that gap any further. It's fluctuating between 1.1 and 1.2 of a second. The battle up front just 2 seconds down the road from where we are at the moment. And it is on in earnest. It's not over yet. And with no rear gun to worry about, both Rima and Peck can go hell for leather in the final couple of laps. And the time is ticking down. There's not far to go. Let's see what the times are this time around. Rima 101.8. He's now the fast man on track. Just 0.1 of a second behind. You don't need to see the clock. You can see the gap between the two. Archer McMillan now starting to come under a little bit of pressure from Perkos, who's got Wakefield right behind. Kaposa, unfortunately, has fallen off the mantle. He's back 5.6 seconds. He's out of this one. So the battle we're riding with at the moment is going to be the battle for third position. Archer McMillan's aware of it now. He's starting to push. His delta's very consistent from his fastest lap to the current lap. But Perkos is finding just a little bit more at the moment.
One more lap to go.
Squeezing everything he can out of every braking area. Archer McMillan starts to move across the track. He knows that Perkos is in the slipstream and he's going to launch an attack. White flag is out. This is the final lap. What can he do? He goes defensive. Looks to the double right-hander. Needs to keep it tight. Does it beautifully. Perkos tries to get a good run out of this group of corners. He certainly does. Starts to bridge the gap in this small straight. Archer McMillan goes defensive. Gets on the brakes. Perkos comes in. Contact. And that's Perkos' race done. Fortunately, it turned out to be a 0x, so we've only got one so far. But Jeff Wakefield, the other Aussie, he wants a piece of the pie. At the moment, the American leads. Kurt Rima's going to take the victory potentially. Matt Peck is trying everything he can, gets in front of him as they come down to the start-finish line. Is it going to be enough? Peck goes across the line, takes the victory over Kurt Rima. Jason Archer McMillan finishes in third spot, Perkos fourth. Then we go back to Wakefield, Kaposa rounding out the top six.
What a race. Managed to hang on to third with some gritty defending and a bit of luck. Honestly, I'm surprised the contact with Perkos didn't take me out, but sometimes fortune is on your side. Huge thanks again to Grant for the brilliant commentary. Go show him some love by subscribing to his channel, and if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe here for your regular Formula V fix. I'll catch you all in the next race.